Yeah.
You know? So, there's a time we were going to the beach, I had earphones. So we were driving into Chadondo.
Yeah.
Then the fan came and said, I'm not saying in Uganda.
Yeah.
Banaye batukubye. Balisa akana kali mu vaaka kagenda kuzanya batula batya Jude mafuna akana akato okuzanya.
Yes.
Hey. Man, I got goose pimples and like. Man.
Yeah. This was before the game.
Before the game, the bus.
That very game against Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Wow.
We were just sloping into
Chadi. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said that. I can't recall. I couldn't even. I was so scared. I couldn't even look at who was saying it. I just looked down. I think the bus driver was told, "You drag as long as you can." We'll go bus stops.
Bus stops.
There.
Yeah.
You guys go eat, buy snacks. What? We go back.
And those days were not. I think even Google Maps was not a thing as it is now.
It was like going to Gulu.
Yes.
And then come back to the Weru. I have to do surgery, do MRI. So I go there, told me it's a meniscus injury.
Meniscus, yes.
Meniscus. They had to remove the meniscus and yeah, I'll be good to go. 8 months. It brings really bad memories.
Yes.
We're young boys. We are building the team.
Yeah.
Would come, they would beat us. We would lose 33-10. They began calling that thing 33-10 like the phone.
The phone. Yeah, another episode of the Fat Cats podcast, part 2, with the maestro, the talisman, the high-flying winger. They used to call you a Capajero. What car would they call you back in the day? Capajero.
Pocket rocket.
Pocket rocket. Yes, Justin Kimono here at the Gardens Najjera. Good to have you again. We are doing this pursuant to part 2 for the podcast. So. Very much so. But I have something for you to listen to, what we call the Fat Cats audio powered by Black. So just give this a listen and tell me what you have to say about this.
Justin Simwende Kimono. As we have known him for how long we have known him, we're not allowed to call him Justin Kimono. His mother and father were not crazy when they gave him 3 names, Justin Simwende Kimono. And as a sign of respect, we call him Justin Simwende Kimono. Now I've seen this man develop into the kind of man that he is, the rugby player that he is, from 14 years old to about 30 now. It has been a privilege watching him play, watching him do what he does on pitch, man. Pocket rocket. I can speak a lot about Kimono. It's a favorite topic of mine. Who is a better finisher? Who is a better player? I always put Kimono up there. It's one of those arguments I always have. But I'll say this about Kimono. Right? Kimono gets a lot of disrespect from these kids here. And one of these days we're going to organize a fight. You people keep on disrespecting Kimono. Don't seem to know who Mr. Kimono is, man. Kimono is an embodiment of rugby. He was the embodiment of Namnyango rugby for 6 years, man. Kimono is Mr. Rugby himself. He left high school and came and did the same thing with the Cobs jersey and with the national team jersey, man. If you think I'm lying, go check the records, man. Numbers don't lie. Kimono has all those records. But in addition to that, I'll say 3 other things about Kimono, which stand out for me, man. Just 3 characteristics of his as a player. Right? Kimono has heart. And I think he got that from Namnyango. In Namnyango, they always told us that the heart was the strongest muscle. And man, if someone embodied heart, it is Kimono. Whatever needed to be done to win a game, Kimono was going to do. Those hits, those tackles. Right, that is heart right there. That's something you can't teach. That's something which he was born with. And in addition to heart, Kimono had iron will. Those who know. If you played against Kimono, you know. Right? And lastly, man, Kimono is still the ultimate competitor. He'll do whatever he needs to do to win, man. A training session with Kimono was hell on earth because he was going to hit you like it's a game, man. And you try and tell me.
Is it true a training session with you was pain?
Me, I really take it all out in training, because if you take it out hard in training, the game becomes easy.
Okay, you've heard that audio. Apart from him saying some factual things like the heart is the strongest muscle, what do you have to say about this audio from a very good friend of yours, Raymond Ogwang?
Part one talked about the people that you are with, that so you do something, you know you better.
Yes.
So a person like Oswe was a difficult man to work around, to bring around, because he's a very jittery guy. So if he comes down and says that, then it's a plus for me. Yeah.
Yeah, as we said last time, that nothing is legendary unless your friends are there to see it. So another thing he had touched on before we get into our big discussion, the disrespect. Considering the things you have done and as we're going to discuss, do you feel there is lack of respect for seniors, for those who have played the game for quite some time and have been experienced at the highest level?
I wouldn't say it is disrespect, but you know, rugby is an emotional game. If someone can get into your mind, you disorganize you.
Yeah.
So if someone tells you something like that and you take it seriously, definitely you won't be able to play. You end up thinking about the guy said this. You end up doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But if I would take it like this, like what? How would I say it? It's like trying to take you off course. If you're supposed to be tackling, because if someone takes your mind off the purpose, you have to come play and win. As a certain number, you're supposed to do your roles, but you make you leave your concentration and what you're supposed to do. You start following that person who was disrespecting you. But I don't see it as disrespect. Those are tactics. It's not disrespect.
Not disrespect.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now back to the main discussion here. Obviously, Kimono, you've had quite the career. Seeing you from schools, now jumping into international rugby, club rugby, even the Rugby World Cup that we're very much going to dive into. But one of the things that someone shared with me was this. I just want to highlight it to you. This was a post on Twitter back in 2024, and it's by one Jeremiah Chigozi, talking about super strikers. So they say there was an issue of super strikers, and one person was saying he thinks he's the only person in Uganda who has a copy of super strikers. So Jeremiah quotes this tweet and says, meanwhile in 2011, there was a version, I think New Vision made a similar arrangement and had a magazine about Justin Kimono. That's how great the man was. Tell us about this magazine. I actually didn't know about this magazine until today.
I think it was like a one-off.
It was a one-off?
I would say that.
Yeah.
It was a one-off. It was done by Philip Bojana.
Yes.
He just called me like, man, come and try this thing and try to do a magazine for all the young guys coming in. I said, fine. We went, he gave me some good meal and took photos and yeah.
And so what do you remember about that magazine?
Talked about me, my high school stuff and how I began playing rugby.
Okay.
Then there was like a small section which was like super strikers. But it was like a topic about, there's a small topic about me playing.
You playing?
Yeah.
So it depicted something like Shakes Fimbo, but for rugby.
Yes.
Wow. Do you have a copy of that magazine right now?
I have to go and check.
You have to check your records.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's quite interesting. Seeing you have somewhat of a magazine that, so only one edition came out.
One edition came out.
Were you paid for this edition, or were you given anything to sign, or it was just?
It was food. They gave me good food.
They gave you good food.
As a bucket.
Yes.
Form 6,
it was Form 6 back.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So it was just a good meal and that was it.
No, but I think you opened doors. I think people, there's a discussion of image rights right now. I think you could have been one of the first beneficiaries if it was as serious then. But anyway, as we get into the major discussion here, as we discussed, you transitioning from a player in high school and joining Cobs, you mentioned you played in the Chairman's Cup. And obviously with the Chairman's Cup, I think you're still in school. Now we are back to Essex VAC. How did you get into the Cobs setup?
Cobs setups, I already played for Cobs in 2007.
Yeah.
When I was in Form 3. So going into VAC, I played 2007. I played a few games in box.
Yes.
I played I think one game, then I crossed. Then the following it was in January. There was that Chairman's Cup. We played Mongas in the semi. Then played Pirates. We lost Pirates a kick from Chinene. Then the game was 3-0. Yeah. But transitioning, I was already a part of Cobs.
Yeah.
So it was just like, man, when I come in, I'm finished school. I came in.
So just take us to that point. S6 VAC, you finish your exams on this particular day. What happens after?
I think that when I finished my last paper, I think it was an art paper, I went back to home. Of course, like, I do farming stuff. We looked at my things, and that very evening I went for training because it was a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
That very evening you went for
I
training.
went for training.
Do you remember the faces who are in training that day?
The faces, we used to train at City High. Of course, there was Alan, Timothy Mudola, Fred Mudola, Roger Rukundo, Roger Molinde. Those were the guys who were there. Yeah.
Now, how does a person of your age, I think at that time, were you 25? Maybe you were you were like 18. So
Yes.
how do you transition from training with juniors, the anchor school team, and then you have to now train with those who have been in the game for that long time? How did the regimen of training change at that point?
I wouldn't want to downplay wingers.
Yes.
But winger, when you're a winger, there's nothing much you really do in the game as long as they tell you the ball is coming.
Yeah.
So you just wait for the ball.
Wait for the ball.
The roles you have to do is maybe field the ball and run.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that you need a serious transition or anything. But the good thing was Timothy Mudola, Tony Loja, our chairman right now, they were very friendly to me. So jailing in was fine because I actually what helped me actually was Kamanyire, Walakila, Meshu. My brother was there, James Kimono. So joining in was because we played in box. So they came beside. I played for about 4 years before me coming in.
Yeah.
So
it was seamless.
Yeah.
It was easy.
It was easy.
Did they make you carry all the bags, being Anchor's captain, and now you are the rookie on the Cobs team?
No. If you put on pitch and you perform, all those things of carry these, they forget them.
They forget them. So who did you make carry the bags in light of that?
The other guys who I came with, I think Aredo.
Aredo, eh?
Aredo.
Aredo carried the bags for you. Now, talking about Aredo, and obviously you mentioned friendships, very much importantly, Kamanyire, Meshu, your brother. How important are those friendships when you're joining a team and trying to build chemistry to win titles?
Why it would be so easy? Because in school, Emma was my captain. Was the 9. Ambrose was the 10.
Yeah.
Actually, they call them. I think it was Quid Cooper
and Guinea. Yes.
So they used to call them something like that. So
yeah.
when I came in, I played with those people. You know, Kamanye would play. He had a very good pass from school. So there'll be a lot of like loops. What? I just wait for the ball on the wing. Out of the ball just comes out, and I get the ball. So those guys made my work quite easy. And those box kicks Emma would do, they're always like up straight, like 20 meters, So they made my work easy because they put time in rugby, so they would execute certain things like more or less professional players.
Yeah.
So if someone spins the pass very well, kicks the ball for you very well, the 9 kicks the ball for you to chase well, why not? Yeah.
And now, getting into a team of Cobb stature, I think they had established wingers. They had Rubas at the time, Lutuama.
Rubas was a 15.
Rubas was 15, but also
Yes.
would play in the back three. Lutuama, Musoke. I think, was Lumo there at the time?
Yes.
So how do you break that competition and now strive to enter a powerful Cobb's team at that particular time?
Up to now, I don't know how I even did it, but
Yeah.
you know what you do sells you.
Yeah.
You can't start saying, no, put this boy. No, what you do on pitch sells you.
Yeah.
So they say, well, that boy is not a joke. You put him there, let him play. So the team had to be adjusted to accommodate me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was not, I had to come and fight, but the team had to be adjusted to accommodate me to play.
But some of us, we had to adjust to the team so that we could play. But now the team is adjusting to accommodate you. But now, again, going back to friendships, very much so, we see how friendships build chemistry on teams and the like. And recently, we also had Brian Odong and Stephen Ogwete coming on the podcast and talking about how they had a lot of joy playing with each other. How influential was it, and how nice was it to play with your brother, winning titles as well?
The best thing about my brother, if anyone tried to do anything to me,
Yes,
I would go for them.
he would go for them. Okay. You had the protector on the pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyone who tries to back chat or try to any tackle, a flip, who comes there, you don't joke around. So
Don't joke around.
yeah.
All right. That. Sometimes you because of age difference and whatever, trying to get your brother to come and play with you rugby is a little bit hard. But for you to experience that at quite a high level is something remarkable. Obviously, also noting even in Cobbs, there are also other brother combinations. They had the Musoke brothers. Now you have BOD and Ogwete. Then you have yourself and James. So I mean, playing with your brother is something that. Do you remember any memorable titles you won together as siblings?
We won Uganda Cup, I think 3 times. We won the league. Yes, together.
Okay,
Yeah.
together. All right. Now, you talk about Cobbs being in a position where they had to adjust their play to accommodate you. And you said that when you're good enough, it allows you to for things to be done to accommodate a particular player of your caliber.
Yes.
Now, what particularly drives you to put yourself in that position to be as good as that?
I cannot say I woke up in the morning and said I'm that good.
Yeah.
These are gifts that are God given. So you just have to embrace it and utilize it. I would not say I was too good or anything, but I would reach there and I'll do something. To me, I would see something small, but someone would be like, man, dude, how can you do that? As that was awesome. So some things you'll be having them, but you can't know until someone else looks at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're here at the Gardens Najjera. Always a fun place to come and wine and dine. Obviously, your evenings after a hard day at work, or even your weekends to distress and think about the week's coming activities. As you can see behind me, there's a scoreboard of the quiz that is usually had here every Tuesday with karaoke later on. Don't ask why the Fat Cats are not on this list. We were sabotaged by Team Tranquility and Team Cheating. On Wednesdays, they have reggae. You can always come and engage in the market here to buy some reggae artifacts. Thursday, they have the famous Rock Nights hosted by Phil Kiria. If you like to wind down to some rock music on a Thursday, this is your place to check in. On Friday, they always have the variety night where you go in and enjoy DJ Bonnie and other DJs play some nice vintage music as you sip on your cold beer. The Saturdays, Afro-Caribbean Saturdays, DJ Caesar as well, having a vibe, as well as the famous East African Meat Carnival. So don't miss out those events. And also, occasionally, quarterly, you will have yourself the fourth floor events, and where they play the classic old school, famous for the source of the fourth floor. Yeah, so Kimono, leadership in rugby is very important. And coming in junior in the Cobb side means you have to listen to very, very many people talk and learn from them. What fun lessons did you learn from the Cobb's leadership at the time? Who are the leaders then?
Adrian Bukenya, Alan Musoke was very loud. He would shout from the other side, everyone would go on the pitch.
That loud?
Alan Musoke.
He's still loud. He's still a loud guy, I know.
Adrian Bukenya, Timothy Mudola, Fred Mudola, Stone. Yeah, those. You know what? The good thing is, I always listen to what someone told me. Always, even if it was negative energy. You watched Shaolin Soccer before?
Yeah.
Remember that time when there's that guy who kicked the ball?
Yeah.
It came with like a dragon fire and what, but the lady got the ball and channeled it into.
Yes, and then sent it back. Yeah.
So it is I look at that thing as you bring whatever bad energy, someone bad.
Like criticism on the field. Yes.
Yeah, which is negative.
Yeah.
You pick the good thing and let the bad stuff go out.
Okay.
So that's what I did. Whoever would come talk to me, I would listen. Either you're speaking good stuff or crap, I would still listen. But all in all, I always kept a positive attitude towards any advice someone gave me. And most important thing is always listen.
When you compare that leadership of back then, I think it was a little bit brute, because even just watching the games at the time, you would hear the noise in the background. Now, how difficult is it now, if you compare it now in this day and age that you're currently playing in, how to relate that advice to the junior players or the somewhat senior players in the side?
The best thing I would tell any young players coming in is always listen. Get attached to an older person who always advise you. There's no one who you could come to and gives you wrong advice. I don't think. It comes as far as playing the game is concerned. You can't come and ask someone, how do you tackle tails? You go up and grab the neck. No. You tell you go low, position your legs, push forward. You will tell you something like that. Someone can't tell you anything bad. But the issue that I see we have with our boys, they have too much. They're more of social media people. Who's going to make the headline today? Who's going to, that's what drives them.
I have to trend.
Yeah.
I have to be on news today.
I have to be everywhere. I have to talk to me on X, Instagram, everywhere. I have to be training everywhere. That is their main goal. And they forget about the basics and the goals that it's not always about you. It's always about the team comes first, then you.
Do you remember a time when one Stone or Soki ridiculed you? Do you remember a particular instance in a game where you were like, oops, and they had to give you a tongue lashing?
I think it was Timothy Mudola. No, I wasn't very good at making errors. Timothy Mudola, he's quite tall.
Yeah.
So this time we're playing at Chadondo with Oscar. I think he was a flanker. I was on the outside. He sent a pass. The pass was way high. I didn't even jump to get it because it was too high. So he shouted, jump and get the ball, what? I'm like, the ball was high. Like, no, what? But you see, he had made a mistake.
Yes.
But I took the good in it.
Yes.
Try it. Because the ball went over. I just looked at it and I just left the ball.
You're like...
Maybe if I switched my hand out, maybe I would have gotten it.
Yes.
So you take the good stuff out. But still, I took the positive out of it. And it made me say the next ball that is coming, I have to do something good with it.
And also considering those guys, you're playing with them in the evenings of their lives. I think Ogwete, Stone towards the end of his career,
Yeah.
Timothy, how important is it for you now to step up at that level to be one of the go-to people for the team?
Yeah, I feel as in those young guys, because now I play two positions very well.
Yeah.
Wing and center. So all those guys come to me. I talk to them. I give them advice on how they should handle, how they should be moving. Because the mistakes I made, I wouldn't want them to make them.
Yeah.
So I advise them the do's and don'ts, how to keep forward, to get favor amongst players, union, people around you, because no one would want a big-headed person.
Yeah.
They're just disgusting.
Disgusting.
I would say that.
Without naming names, which player have you interacted with and they have done something and you're like, really, this person's big-headed?
There are many.
There are many.
International, Bamburi, on the club. But it's like, you see, brothers, here is conflict. So
Yeah.
it's just like a normal day. It has happened, you move on.
What's that one thing when you're on the field that just gets you irritated and you want to lash out at a player?
If someone tells you to do something and they argue,
Yeah.
and they make the same mistake again and again, and they look at you and say, you're not doing anything.
This fielding thing is a very problematic area for many wingers, even those who play in the backs, full back and whatever. So how comfortable are you with, how many balls are you comfortable with someone dropping before you just tongue lash them?
I can't tongue lash. That dropping a ball is something that can really destroy someone if you shout at someone.
Really?
It can destroy you badly. If he gets the first ball, he drops it, second ball drops it, third ball, you yell at him, his game is done.
His game is done.
It is done.
What do you do for a player like that? I mean, I can imagine the pressure. You're playing at Chadondo, you're playing at Legends, and they have kicked the ball. Aaron always has those high up and unders, and then you drop it. What do you do as a winger in that situation? You as a person who is trying to build personal confidence.
You know, it is the mental strength that someone has. Those errors will always be there. Don't make the error again. Because one time, you have to man up. Like when I think the other weekend we're playing, we had a winger, he made like 2 knock-ons. And when I talked to him, I'm like, no, you don't worry. You just keep your mind into it. You're going to fix it. I was so amazed that he picked up, he played so well. I gave him that, that mental strength that makes you get back on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, is something that is, it's not for everyone.
Really?
It's not for everyone.
And how is this mental strength built? Is it childhood? Is it training? Because we always talk about mental strength. You have to have the strength and conditioning to withstand the pressure of a game. But where does this come from? We think it just happens in training. Is there anything that has helped contribute to yours?
It's just sheer will of a person.
Sheer will.
It's just sheer will of a person. You can't coach it. You cannot. It is what the goal someone puts on his table or the box is just to tick. If he has not met them, and is fine with it, then that you can't have the sheer will. But if you say, I'm going in a game, I'm supposed to be scoring a try, I'm supposed to be doing X tackles, I'm supposed to be doing X assist or something like that, and you've not done any of those and you're comfortable, then you have a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, that first season with Cobbs, how many tries do you remember the tries you scored the first season?
I can't remember.
You scored many.
First season, because I would as a Form 3, I would play like 2 games,
Yeah.
or 3 games and go back to school.
No, let's start after VAC, Essex VAC. Okay.
No,
Let me make it easy. What was the most memorable try you scored, if you recall?
We were playing at Chadono.
Yeah.
I think it was Philip I was at 13. Philip was at 15. Walk was 13. There used to be some Kenyan used to play 12. I've forgotten his name. They gave me the ball, there was Arthur Mukama.
Arthur Mukama, yes.
There was Scott. Yeah, I think there was Scott. The 9 gave me a ball. I ran. I hit through like 8 defenders before scoring.
8 defenders?
Yes, and on those 8 defenders, there was I think Arthur Mukama, Sibling, there was Scott, there was Gama.
Yeah.
Some other guys who are there as well.
Yeah.
But I got the ball, I hit them to show that try was not something easy. Arthur came and told me, my guy, well, that was a nice one.
That was a nice one.
That was a nice one.
How many times have you gotten acknowledgement from the opposing side when you score a try or make a big try-saving tackle or a big gameplay? From the other opponents, from the opponents, yeah.
You know, rugby is a game of ego.
Yeah.
It's not common for people to do that. But the person who understands the sport will tell you that.
Will tell you, good.
Yeah.
That's good, that's hot,
good,
yeah.
Yes. Me, I tell my opponents like that. If he has done something good, I tell man, that was nice. Yeah.
All right.
That was nice.
Catch me saying that, I can never.
Yeah.
Now, but you see, now when you transition from Cobs, and I think very much importantly, because I watched those beginning years, there is something that currently now is kind of alien to many people when you talk about Ugandan rugby. That is the Bamburi Super Series.
Yes.
Now, the Bamburi Super Series, obviously Uganda had 2 teams, and I think Kenya had nearly 4 or something teams. We had majorly Victoria and Rwenzori that would participate, and you would divide the teams into different categories of players, and you make up a team of 15, and then eventually you would start the games. And how was your first season in Bamburi like?
It was awesome because I got top try scorer.
Yeah, we're going to come to top try scorer, but I mean, playing with now, you've now transitioned from playing with Cobs players to now playing with players who you used to play against. How was that transition like going into the Bamburi Super Series?
You know, let me tell you something. The best thing to ever do is play with the opponent.
Yeah.
The same team. I don't know what it is, but it's something good.
Okay.
It's something good. You know, if you're against someone and you come together, it's like I make peace with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the moment, it is. I always enjoy playing with guys that I be playing against. It's really something to me as a person, something that I look as it is a positive. Yeah.
So which first guys did you play with in that team?
I think that team consisted of was it Pirates, Cobs,
Yeah.
and Rhinos.
So which players were there?
It was the first one we played was because Rwenzori was seen as the second tier side
For Victoria at the time.
Guys who didn't make the national team
Yeah.
were in Rivalry. So Victoria is more or less the national team.
Yeah.
Yes. So what happened was the guys that were there was Chinene, there was Solomon Mawanda, there was Gabriel Aredo.
Okay.
There were quite many guys. I could remember a few. Yeah, those are the guys I could remember. But it was mostly, it was more or less Kampala side.
Kampala side.
Yes.
Kampala being legends.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember your first game, Bamburi, playing against Kenyans?
Our first game in Bamburi, we used to go and they used to smash us all the time.
Yeah.
But,
As always.
But when we went and played Mumias, and we won that game, I scored 2 tries. I got man of the match, and I scored 3. I scored a hat-trick actually. Yeah. But the funny bit about that game is from that game that I began doing gym.
I think I remember why. Is that the game where Humphrey threw you into the ground? Yes.
Humphrey handed me off. You know, he broke the line and I was on the wing. So I said, I have to get this international guy.
Yes.
So I ran. I I find him, he stops. I try to tackle him high, he's tall.
Yes.
So he throws me over. I go with my arms down and the head. So, being a fit guy, I feel he can get back up.
Yes.
So I tried to push myself back up. The legs were up. He also handed off the legs. So, and I went off the pitch.
Went off the
scored,
pitch.
yes.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. It was even in the Super Sport. It was in the Super Sport commercial. I very much recall that particular
Yeah.
moment. So from that time, you decided to now say that I'm going to gym.
You have to do gym from that, but I've never gone back, and I've reaped the benefits of doing gym. So any young guy out there, you have to work out. You can't go and play rugby now and say, no, I'm a natural. No, you can't.
No, weren't you around to tell me these things back in the day? I think I would have also. I didn't gym at all. I never did gym at all.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a unique story. Maybe just to divert a bit, is that Eric Muller. We had a podcast with him in Tunisia when the team traveled to Tunisia. I think in 2023, and he told us that you're the guy who took him to gym.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
There's a time,
What do you have to say about that?
Actually, I didn't even take him. That's why I told you, like, I always like playing with the guys who I play against, because I used to go with Munyani, Casito, Mula, and Magom,
Yeah.
and Chikoni. So there's a pirate, there's a rhino,
Mm.
When we go there, I do gym. We do gym 4 times a week.
4 times a week.
4 times a week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it quite changed all those games we played. Same Munyani, Casito, Mula, give them that spirit of doing gym. So those guys were at campus, but I would drive from my home to Sasi, and I would go to Chikoni
Chikoni and gym with them.
and gym with those guys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Obviously. So, how far did your team, Renzori at the time, go in the Bamburi series?
Renzori, we reached. I think were they semis or quarters? The first Bamburi played we reached because we went and played third place playoff against Sharks, where we won. Oscar passed to me the try that made me to press scorer.
Kalyango.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good, but it was quite hectic because we drove to play Rhinos, Kenyan Rhinos.
Yeah.
Rhinos. We come back on Sunday. We have again travel again on Thursday to play Sharks.
Play Sharks.
So that movement was the biggest issue. Yeah, but it was a very because me, a young man, my first Bamburi playing and reaching the semi-final. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I do recall from your Bamburi, you became top scorer.
Yes.
And that propelled you to the national team.
Yes.
But let me skip that, Kawan. Just we'll come back to that national team appearance. But then the Bamburi, what I recall was that eventually another season, either 2012 or 13, you guys even reached the finals.
Yes, reached the
You
final.
reached the finals. I remember that team had Ogwete, Mawanda, Bavi Dodong,
Marvin
Edmonds, Kabazi,
Yeah.
Oscar. Yes, you're also part of that team.
Yes.
So I think why I very much remember it was that you were going to the final, the first Ugandan team to reach a final, I think in the Bamburi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I think you had the biggest chance of winning with Dimension Data as sponsors.
Yes.
Then you had an exam
Yes.
and they put you on a plane. First tell us that story.
No, that was national team.
No, there's also another one of Bamburi. Where was that when they flew you guys to Nairobi?
Yeah, no, they flew the whole team to Nairobi.
They flew the whole team to Nairobi. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
So now that Bamburi series, take us through that.
That Bamburi, we were in the same group with Victoria.
Yeah.
So we were looked as the underdogs compared to, because the other side had, may you so rest in peace, Robert Seguya.
So yeah, yes.
It had
Mudola.
those Mudolas,
Yeah.
Okay, it had Ogwa Romano. It had quite some players. I can't mention all of them, but we played them in the group stages to top our table.
Yeah.
So we beat them at Legends. Actually, I scored the try off Robert Seguya. It was a loose ball. Failed to get it. I scored. That is a strike which made us win.
Yeah.
So we were on top of the table. So we played. Does it Impala? I can't recall, but there's a team that came. We played them in semi-finals at Legends.
Yes.
So
I think that's the no. I think it's the group stage game. I'm remembering. I think it's the group stage game.
that is the game Edmond did a drop.
Yes,
drop
that's
it.
the one I was
Yes.
going to say. Where Edmond came, scored a try, banged the drop goal,
Yes.
then he touched the crossbar and it entered.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. I watched that game.
Yes, that was
Yes.
the game that made us go to the final.
That's the game that made you go to the final.
Yes.
And then the guys who are, I think the guys who are the winners at the time, the most were the Rhinos.
Yes, Rhinos.
So you played the Rhinos in
final.
at RFUA grounds.
In the final.
Now,
Yeah.
that particular final, what happened? Because us who were watching on Supersport at the time we were in shock that the Uganda team was being annihilated in Nairobi like that.
When annihilated.
You guys were, man.
It was
Yes.
32-24.
But you guys, by the time the game ended, you guys were, like everyone in Uganda was watching and were all supporting Team Renzori, but things just didn't work out.
Yeah, they didn't work out because the people who were there. It was. I think it was our second year playing Bamburi.
Yes.
Guys from school.
Mm.
So that team just had young chaps. I believe if KRFU was still able to sponsor that, Bamburi is still Uganda is going to be on another level. I think not it shouldn't quote me, but I believe they got a scare because the team that played were young chaps.
Oh, young chaps, yes.
So if I had played in the next season, you're going to take that thing.
I'm going to take that
Because
thing.
we came from the semis, the same team. We went into the final. So next year it was definitely win. So I think if you kept on going like that, would that be something very good for East Africa? Because I believe maybe Tanzania would bring maybe a team, maybe Rwanda would bring a team, or I believe it would have been something, it would have grown like Super Rugby. It would be something good for East Africa, but maybe the sponsors didn't go, maybe there's some politics there. Maybe Uganda would develop and surpass Kenya or something, I don't know.
How important were those experiences for you in Bamburi? Obviously entering into the national team your first season. How important was that experience?
It was more or less an international game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd meet different guys, different skill level, understanding of rugby is different, not a normal rugby. So you had to up your game at every stage. Different opponents, because you would find wingers who are small, and now you find a winger who's big, is like a number 8, but he can run, and he's running at you. You have to man up.
You have to man up. Yeah.
It was something I believe all our young players should have that feel and up their game.
Yeah, I know the union is trying to do a franchise series. I think they had planned it for last year, but it didn't take off. I think obviously the clashing of the calendar alongside I think departure of players going to South Africa for the national team, as well as now the Rugby Africa Cup. So the opportunity was not there. We did have a series though. Did you play in the Super Protector Super Series? Remember that tournament where there were 4 teams? Is it Crocs, Fimbos, then over what else? You remember that tournament?
I think I played in it.
Yeah. So I think franchise rugby, without a doubt, could help improve Uganda's not talent, but also ability for players to play at the highest level. You know, when you have players who are playing franchise rugby, it allows them to grow.
Yeah.
You can grow. Yes,
that's a very good word.
Yeah.
Allow someone to grow.
You allow them to
become
grow. It's now the standards are now a little bit higher. If you, for example, now like when you look at the league right now, you could have now Ginger has 2 teams. You could make a franchise with Ginger teams where they can easily play. Actually, then you could have one maybe for Chadondo. Then you could have one for maybe KPA. I don't know who they would partner with. Maybe Cobs and Rhinos. Your Cobs and Rhinos would partner up. Maybe Cobs, maybe Pirates, Impis, and maybe Rams or something like that.
Yeah.
They build up a team there. Then you have Buffaloes and maybe Buffaloes Cobs. Heathens joining with maybe another team, Mongas as well.
Yes.
And then you build like 4 franchises and then they play each other. And the rule should be necessarily that you shouldn't play in the same franchise. Let everyone get a chance to play with each other. Because I think even with national team, you realize that many guys we struggle for chemistry at national team, yet you can use these franchise tournaments to build
You're very right.
that kind of chemistry. It's very, very important.
Yeah, I believe you should look at something in that kind of way. Because the end result is national team.
National team.
The end result, whether you're playing clubs or what, but the whole thing is the build up is what? National team.
Is national team.
Yes.
Okay. So now, Bamburi, obviously, first we skipped a bit to the finals involving Rwenzori, but your first season, obviously, top scorer, you play against these Kenyan rivals, the Sudis, the Kanyanges, the Nigeras, and whatever. Oliver Mangeni. Now you get to national team. Now, the national team discussion, I do recall at that time, what the debate was between you and Jude Keremundo of Heathens.
Yes.
Now, Jude Keremundo could kick, Jerry Keremundo could score tries, he could also field, and he was actually bigger.
Yes.
In terms of frame, he was taller and bigger, and he had the frame, and obviously he had been around longer. So, obviously, how do you get the news that you're going to be on the national team?
Like I told you.
Yeah.
You have to listen.
Yeah.
I was called on national team. I refused to go. Someone kept on telling me, I don't mean to badmouth anything, but they would say, no, you be like Chimoli. Chimoli came and went national team very fast, and now he dropped.
If
you go so very fast national team, the same thing's gonna happen to you.
And every time when you're a young boy, you get scared about things like that.
I thought about it. Can you see Felix's legs also got thick and stuff like that. So I kind of like, this guy should be right.
Yeah.
So when they called me, I refused to go.
They called you initially. Who was the coach at the time?
Yeah, I think quite a number. I think it was may you rest in peace, Mafula.
Mafula, yes.
Yes, and
Peter, yes, okay. Peter Magona, yes.
So they reached the time they were talking. They said, I didn't know this boy is my nephew. That man called the boy's father and tell the man to make this man play.
To come and play, yes.
So my dad called me, he's like, hey man, what is the problem? They're telling me you want to go and play. Can you go and very fast and go?
And dad just said, get in line. Order Nimonja, yes.
Hey, go and play for the national team. So,
yeah.
So that was one word of my dad. So I went there. They named the team, selected the team, and I was part of the team. Like I told you, like they say, Jude was like you said.
Yeah.
He was better. I was a guy in VAC.
Yeah.
So there's a time we were going to the pitch. I had earphones. So we were driving into Chadondo.
Yeah.
Then the fan came and said, I'm not saying in Uganda.
Yeah.
Bana yebatukubye. Bali sakana kali muvaka. Kagena kuzanya batula bacha Jude mafuna akana akato okuzanya.
Yes.
Hey. Man, I got goose pimples and like. Man.
Yeah. This was before the game.
Before the game, the bus.
That very game against Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Wow.
We were just sloping into
Chadi. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't require. I couldn't even. I was so scared. I couldn't even look at who was saying it. I just looked down.
Oh damn. Okay.
But like I told that fighting spirit of, because when I got off the bus, we went to changing, warm up. The thing was just ringing in my head.
Did you talk to anyone about that, or you just kept it to yourself?
I kept it to myself. So now what would I do? I would cry. What? No, I couldn't. You have to man up your own thing.
You have to. So you had your internal manning up challenge in that moment.
I had that thing. You have to
yes.
manning the ball, get the ball. But I played Bamburi. I'd got in the field of international.
Yeah.
And I had played a very serious opponent.
Who was that opponent you played?
Victor Sudi.
Sudi. Yeah.
Victor Sudi was the torment of Uganda.
Yeah.
In both in 7s and 15s. And I played him. I was like, now who are they going to put in front of me who's going to?
who's going to disturb you.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so I just kept on talking to myself, you can do this, can do this, can do this, can do this. So we go into the game. I get what do you call it? A back in from Stone. He goes, I get a back in, I break the line, I get a code at the 5. We don't score. We go back, we get a reset, we play, they get a scrum down, we make the same call. This time I do it, I break the line, I go and score.
Go and score.
That was my first try for Uganda.
Back in from Stone.
Yes, I came from Stone. Then may he so rest in peace, Robert Seguya, at the wing, got the ball. But what he told me Muto. He used to call me Muto. Muto, meaning young. So the ball was coming, he's like, Muto, ngenda fina, ngenda kusambira ugobe. So he got the ball, just got the kicked. I was ready. Ran for the ball, scored. That was my second try for Uganda in one game.
In one game?
Yeah.
So that guy who told you Vakis whatever, you took it personally. You took it personally. I said, let me show this guy.
No, it's just
Yes.
it's never give up spirit.
Yeah, never give up spirit.
You can't talk me down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so now I know that game. I actually watched it as in the stands that day. Seeing Uganda, obviously seeing your classmate being able to score tries like that. The guy who you are playing with, a year ago you are playing in schools, whatever, 7s, 15s, and the like, even touch at school. Now you are scoring tries for the national team. But very much how I know we did lose that game. But you as a player, how important was that for you to announce your mark on the national team level?
I remember, you know that game, that's a very big mark in my life. That up to now, I remember that game like it was like I played the game like I played Hippos yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can narrate all those things that happened in that game.
Properly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you remember your first tackle?
I didn't tackle in that game.
You didn't tackle?
The only tackle I made was there was a center who broke the line.
Yes.
And I came from inside, I tackled him. Yeah, I think I have a photo of that.
There's also another one you made, but the person who was chasing in the inside didn't go through. So you tackled, but they passed, and then they went through that gap. You had tackled the guy who was carrying the ball, who was good, but he passed the ball, but the person who was watching your gap was not watching. So that's when they went and scored their first try.
Yeah, but
Yes.
the try I remember I tackled was that one. That's when I remember I tackled.
Now, you scored 2 tries in that game, but you're fondly remembered for the casement you gave the Zimbabwe guy.
You know that game, it was my debut.
Yes.
And everyone was like, you're the young guy.
Yes.
So now there's a Scott Oloch.
Yeah.
Was number 8. He's like, man, I'm gonna get you this ball, but just run. You know, Scott, I'll give him credit. He's the best number 8 I played with.
Yeah.
Why? Because he would get the ball, he would stop the flanker and keep the 8 occupied. So he would give you the ball and you'd have what? Your winger one-on-one.
One-on-one, yeah.
So it has made my work so easy. Because sometimes when the guy just gets the ball, flanker, if the flanker comes to you, the 8, it is hard.
Yeah.
But he would go hit, then offload to you. So he gave me that. He told me that I'm gonna give you that ball. Eh? You know, he's broken Logan. I said, Justin, I'm gonna give you the ball. Ne Duka. So someone is telling a young boy, I'm gonna give you the ball, but just run.
Just run, yeah.
So I got the ball. I ran, and this guy was in front of me. I just rammed into him.
Pwah! Out of the
Fell
way.
down. Yeah.
Ambulance.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, how important was the leadership group in that team? Because you coming in junior, you play with Timothy Stone. Was Timothy in that game as well?
Yeah.
I think Benon was in that game.
Sorry,
Benon
Simon Wakabi.
Wakabi, yes.
Yes.
How important were those guys in guiding you?
You know, any team we play on and Robert Seguya was there,
Yeah.
leadership was in check.
Leadership was in check.
Properly.
What are your fond memories of the late Robert Seguya?
There are so many, man.
Give us. We have time. Tell us.
When I had my surgery, he's on the national team after my
Okay.
surgery.
Yeah.
I told him, man, I say I can't. Like, no, me, I know you. You just come, be around, and just run a bit. You never know, you come. You know, I think he knew that competitiveness I had
Yes.
in me.
Yeah.
So if this guy comes, you'll work out what?
You can't allow anyone to push
Yes.
him over. Yes.
So that's what happened. I came, I played, we went to try a game in Mumias.
Yeah.
We went and played.
Cabras, yeah.
Yes, I played well. It's like, I told you you're going to play. Yeah, but then you get a little bit fitter. So I kept on working. You know, the muscle in the leg had shrunk, so I had to build it. He trusted me so much that he made me captain. He made me captain with Suman Nigera. Yes. So it was he's someone who, if you make a mistake, he will tell you. He was someone he's a coach that you would be on pitch, but you know he's with you. By the words he tells you, the communication brings on the pitch. Yeah.
He would never let you.
He could not.
He was always on your side.
He was always there. Anyone could attest. Talk about Aaron, Pius, Munyani. No, Munyani had a small bit of him, but
Yeah.
you know, but I played with him.
Yeah.
He has coached me. You know, I played against him. You know, so there's a lot that went on there between me and the late. Yeah.
And what are your memorable games in the national team? I do recall very many, but what was your memorable game, or even games that you played for 15s?
I think most of the games there's nothing that is as sweet as beating Kenya.
Beating Kenya.
Beating Kenya is just the best thing, because I think every year I would score against Kenya. So, like, there is a kick, I think. I did it in that very year when I made my debut.
Yeah.
The Kenya Elgon Cup. What's his name? Alan Masiko.
Yeah.
Got the ball and banged the kick. The wing of Kenya. The ball, I showed he let the ball bounce. I just came, snatched the ball, ran and scored. That's the game that made us win. Though we lost on aggregate.
Aggregate, yes.
Yes. But we won the game.
What about that try against Kenya in, what is it called? Kasarani. Yes.
Kasarani.
That thing where you just run like a villager. You run like a pocket rocket.
It was good because they kept you know, that game was high intense. The Kenyans tried to make our life a bit hard. Tossing us here, making us sleep in not a very good hotel.
But why do Kenyans like doing that thing? You know, even I think last year's Elgon Cup, they like doing that thing. They make life very difficult.
Those are called Western West African they're called what? West
Tactics.
African tactics.
Yeah.
But Zimbabwe is the worst.
They do it a lot.
Oh. There's time we played. I remember there. We reached. Okay, you know that time. You never used to, money would come last minute.
Yeah.
So we travel the very day and the following day you're playing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that bad.
That bad, yeah.
So you travel on Thursday. You hope to make the captain's run on Friday.
Friday, yes.
Yeah. So you move in the night of Thursday.
Aye.
So you reach.
You reach like Friday, maybe 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Oh, reach in the morning because you have to wait.
A connection flight, yes. Yeah.
So reach like in the morning. So they said our game is in Bulawayo.
Yeah, Bulawayo, yes. I think I remember that one. Yeah.
We reached. We drove. We reached at about 10
a.m. Yeah.
We reached our destination at 8 a.m. 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yes.
They made you drive. You couldn't even fly. And Zim is quite a sizable country.
We went and I think the bus driver was told, you drag as long as you can. We'll go bus stops.
Bus stops,
there.
yeah.
You guys go eat, buy snacks, what? We go back. I not reach.
And those days were not. I think even Google Maps was not a thing as it is now.
It was like going to Gulu.
Yes.
And then come back to Luweero.
You drive to Gulu, then you come back to Luweero.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how long it was.
And then you reached there, and then you played there.
We didn't have captain's run. We had the captain's run in the morning.
In the morning of the game.
Yes. Run, morning of the game, and they clobbered us because we played them. It was still that very year.
Yeah.
Where I did my debut. We had played them and beaten them.
Yes.
We didn't beat them, but the game was hard for them.
Yeah.
So I said, these guys, you have to make something to drain them.
Yeah, drain them.
Yeah, so that's what they did.
And Kenya, obviously Kasarani, that was a tight game, but
they made us. Man, the place was like on the street, and it was loud. I don't know what's wrong with those guys.
No, but even last year,
And there was a lot
not
of,
last year it
the
happened.
place was,
Yes.
there's a lot of jam.
Not last year, 2023. They met in Kisumu when we had Elgon Cup in Kisumu. Our guys were rotated around because they had to come by bus. They had to rotate. The ladies sat in the bus for an extra 1.5 hours after arriving. Their liaison was not around, so they ended up being in the bus. You know how we've traveled for a long time. Eh?
They tried to frustrate you, but good enough.
Yeah.
We put that behind us. We won the game.
You won the game.
Yes.
And that try, how important was it for you? Beating Kenya, because I think we beat Kenya by a point, 16-15 or 16-13 around that time. Bishop was just kicking all the kicks.
Astray. Out.
No, he actually kicked. There's one conversion he kicked that was really, he had a very unique kicking stance where he would
Walk.
That's why we used to call him swagger. Me and also used to call him swagger. He would walk like this, then he would just come and kick it, and when it actually took forever to be captured in the frame, and then eventually it entered.
Yeah, because there was even a controversy with the ref.
Yes, I remember the controversy. The Kenyan said that
it was-
the Kenyan that entered.
Yes.
The TJ said the ball had entered, and then the ref said no, it had not.
It had not, yeah.
We don't have refs like that. I don't know where they went, but yeah. So obviously, national team playing at that level. Now the injuries start to creep in. You mentioned Robert called you after you had an injury. What were the injuries like? Your injury ordeal with the national team.
I think we are playing. We are dropped to Tier 1B.
Yeah.
I think that time we were playing Ivory Coast. We had Ivory Coast and Botswana.
Yeah.
So we won all our games, but they did a. It was a kick. I tried to stop with my leg, but then my leg twisted.
Your leg twisted.
Yes.
The same leg that you broke in high school.
No, there was the other one.
The other one.
It
Okay.
was twisted in the knee.
Yes.
So it was. The doctors told me that the muscles around the knee
Yes.
were quite firm, so I didn't feel that injury.
Yes.
There and then.
There and then.
I played sevens.
You played even sevens.
I played the next game Botswana.
Yes.
I played sevens.
Yes.
I played part of Uganda Cup.
Okay.
Then they told me, but you got your leg, they went and did surgery, and you have to do surgery, do MRI. So I go there, told me it's a meniscus injury.
Meniscus, yes.
Meniscus. They had to remove the meniscus, and yeah, I'll be good to go. 8 months. So about a month elapsed. An Italian surgeon came in.
Yes.
He worked on me. But when he reached the theater, he worked to remove the meniscus. But while he was working, he saw that my ACL was also.
Your ACL was also gone.
Well, yeah, it was gone. So the doctor told him, "No, you fix that as well." It's like, no, those guys are quite professional. It's like,
Yeah.
no. The letter of consent was
For the MCL.
ACL.
Yeah, MCL, not SCL. Yes.
No, it was meniscus.
Yeah, anti-M is the meniscus cruciate ligament. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. It was meniscus. I didn't do for the ACL.
Yes.
So it's like, he has cover. He has to do that thing again. So 6 months later, I had to go back.
After 6 months, they couldn't let you consent to today and they do tomorrow. Oh.
So 6 months later,
Yes.
and I would hub a bit. I was running a bit. I did
The ACL.
the ACL. So the ACL was so painful because it was they cut tissue and replaced tissue, screwing and all that stuff. So to come back and play, I took 18 months.
18 months.
18 months.
Which time was that?
The reason that happened was we were the first people to have that surgery in Uganda, because most guys you go for surgery in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, yes.
But the first guys to have it was me, I think, Carbonero, and forget it. They must keep my mind. But we're about 5 guys.
Yeah.
So I asked one of our docs. I tell man, help me with physiotherapy, and they're like, man, my guy, that stuff, I'm bleak. I don't know about that stuff. So I ended up working myself using YouTube.
You treated yourself using YouTube?
Yeah.
Like you went on YouTube and they said physiotherapy for...
Yes. And now I drive a manual car.
Yes.
If they say it's supposed to take maybe 21 days
yes.
before you drive, if it is on the right,
yes.
stepping on the clutch.
Yes.
But if it's on the
left.
It's on the left.
Sorry, on the left it's the clutch.
It's the clutch.
Yes.
You take 21 days, but
yes.
if
it's on the right,
it's 7 days, it's fine.
Yeah.
So it was on the right.
Weren't you lifting your leg when you are stepping on the clutch all the time?
No,
because
it was the right, not the left.
Oh, it was the right. Okay,
yes.
okay, fine,
yeah.
fine, yeah.
So I worked like that, and it was so painful. You need someone to help you and tell, no, it is painful, but you have to do this. I needed someone to do that, but I didn't have that person, so I would do it on my own. So my leg shrunk. So I had to recover. The pain reduces. I would go back to building a muscle, which was lost. So it was quite not something easy.
What toll did it take on your mental well-being? Obviously, you're a person knowing you can't do what you love, playing rugby. How did it take a toll on your mental well-being and health?
Yeah, it was devastating. Because me having a long time without playing rugby was too much. But I managed. First of all, you even have no psychologist. But I myself am a psychologist.
Yeah, you yourself, you're a psychologist. Yes.
But you had to build yourself up. It was something very hard. I don't even know how I did it, but I think God there's a way God helps his people. God knows his people helps you. Yeah.
Because I'm imagining there was a time in Ugandan rugby where you're off the radar. You're off sometime. Yeah. Is that the time even when you gained a little bit more weight? Because you did mention something like that you usually gain weight when you're injured.
I gained a lot of weight, and my mom came to me and cried like, "This is my son. Don't get a stomach. You're a short man."
What can I say?
You can't be a short man with a big stomach.
With a big stomach, yes.
She told me that, and I began working out. So,
you began working out.
To some extent, she helped me get back. Yeah, because whenever you run and you feel better, you want to work again. Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen lots of injuries that players have suffered, and obviously the injury you suffered, quite devastating. We see very many players are now getting these ligament injuries because of the nature of the contact sport. We've had one who has recently had surgery of Nile Rapids. We have had many others who are now on the tail end of recovery. In your time of surgery and healing, was there any support from your club, from the union, or even from fellow players to just assist you go through that process?
The injury, I got injured in national team.
Yes.
I was never supported at any one point.
You were never supported by the national team?
No, if my dad wasn't there,
hey,
my rugby would have ended that time.
Whoa, okay.
So my dad paid for my surgery. There's some things that he had moved around, some audios about someone interviewing my dad.
Yes.
He said if I don't know what he said. I don't know what to do. It is my son. I wouldn't want my son to be depressed.
Yeah.
So I had to sacrifice with about, I think, 12 million.
Oh, 12 million. That's quite sizable.
Yeah.
So no one really.
No, and even national team, they never talked about it. Yeah.
What do you think needs to change in respect to that? Because I think I have seen very many harambes being done. Obviously, I think from their perspective, they kind of say that it is because of the nature of injuries. I think the particular case, I read a story of Nile Rapids where they make reference, they mentioned that the lady got aggravated that injury in the Uganda Cup final against the Avengers. That was, I think, 2022 or 23. And they said because of that, but the initial injury concern started from the Uganda Cup, not the Uganda Cup, but sevens, where she was playing for one of the national team probable sides or possibles. So, how do you think what do you think needs to be done to avoid situations that you went through personally?
It is very sad that that these girls actually are not cared about. I won't say they're not cared about, they're cared about, but when it comes to injuries, they're left for dead.
Okay.
It is, it hurts me so much when I see someone wakes up in the morning, goes to play, puts in time, sacrifices. When you play rugby, you sacrifice a lot.
Very much so.
When you get injured, you're forgotten. Imagine someone gets injured and 12 months later that's when you do the surgery. 12, 16 months later. 18 months, It is very bad for these girls. The best thing we need to do, I think, the union should do it in such a way that at least there should be a minimum insurance for every player.
Those are national team.
National team, but all these injuries are national team, they're club injuries. It should be something.
Something, yeah.
I don't know how the insurance works. I don't know the benefit, but there should be something. Like, it should prioritize that. The union should say clubs, because guys get money, they give people allowances. If you get money and maybe deposit maybe 800,000, 1 million for every player. For those kind of injuries and something like that. For a starter, maybe when it becomes so bad, because people get injured, collect money. This one has a fracture. Collect money. We need, It is very, 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 very sad. Because if it wasn't for my sheer will, maybe the guidance of God, I would have run mad. I would have done something myself. Because if a union has abandoned me as being a national team, as a darling of the national team, and I get injured and you forget about me, and they talk to you, say, no, he has never come. What do you mean I've never come? They say some words there that put me off so much. They say, no, he never came. Do I have to come to you? I got an injury playing for the why? They try to say that I got that injury
playing for the club.
Yes, but I played the 2 national team games. And I was selected. So how would you select an injured person? I will show you. There's a photo when I'm scoring that Botswana game. I had no strapping
on your knees.
You understand? So how do you say I got that injury in the club? Because I would have irritation, and they say we go for an MRI. So do the MRI. They tell me, man,
meniscus is messed up. Man, players.
So, I believe the way you can do that, they should always put a standard, like how you say that you can't play a game without an ambulance.
You can't go national team or club rugby without some minimum insurance.
Exactly.
Or a partnership with the hospital that can assist with that. Yeah, I think it will go a long way because, man, the nature of freak injuries we have had over time, there's very much need for many players to have that comfort that medical bills will be, without a doubt, catered for. And how long did it take you to rehab? Obviously, I know you talked about YouTube, but how long did it take for you to rehab and get back to confidence? How does a player of your stature get comfortable going back into contact after knowing that your right leg has had this injury and also your high school issue that you had?
Most people are written me off.
Okay.
they written me over like, man, you can't play, because when I came with the meniscus, I would have about limp.
Mm.
I would play touch, but with the limp. You try to build confidence by playing such things.
Yeah.
So I just kept on playing, but guys were like, man, this guy, I don't think this guy will come back. I don't
Yeah,
think
where
this guy
they
will come
move,
back. It is done.
Mm.
Like I told you, I channel nobody in what?
Positive, yeah.
So that thing saying, those people talking those things made me feel, no, I can't just be eradicated like an art piece with a rubber. No, I can't. So that's the thing that helped me. Also, your prayers, your prayers, pray for yourself. They also come in hand. You can't say I'm the only one who did. No, I'm the one who did. No, there are other factors that intervene.
How important was that parental support? Obviously, when you feel abandoned in a particular situation, you always go back to family. How important was your family support in going through this maybe 12 to 18 months?
And my mom was there because I was at my mom's home. I had my place, but I was at my mom's home at that time.
Yeah.
And she looked after me, cared for me. My dad paid for all the medication. Yeah, they actually really support me. Yeah, and my some club players like Noah, the doctor came, saw me at Kosu,
Yeah.
visited me. I talked to him. Lawrence Wakabi, he came actually. I came there with my pickup. He drove me back.
After the surgery,
yes, he drove me back, and I wanted to pay him. He's like, no, man, you're my friend. Why would you pay
Why
me?
you pay? Why you have to pay me?
So I'm like, thanks. So that's how it was.
Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, you had to go through all that. I mean, it's just heartbreaking to hear that you have to go back. But now the comeback. Obviously, in that period, you after the 1B, you now come back, and how was that first game coming back?
My first game I played was Cabras.
Was Cabras?
Yeah.
Against Cabras?
Yes.
And that's when Seguia said that now you have to.
I'll credit
yeah.
Seguia for making me come back.
He's the one who.
I wasn't as done.
You are done.
He came out. No, you just come and
Why did you feel you are done? People's comments.
Yeah. Was comment. I wouldn't run. I still had the phobia.
Yeah.
It was fine, but I would run with a little bit of a limp. Yeah. So.
Did you see anyone who managed to, like a therapist at the time, who was able to get you back on track, or it was just YouTube and inshallah prayers?
Like you said,
Yeah.
just YouTube
and prayers.
No one who came. Maybe
I think now it has improved. Now at least you have therapists who you can easily see.
Yeah, therapists. Even have a psychologist.
A psychologist now who can talk to you.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so bouncing back into the national team, obviously, and then I don't know. Now this is the most important part for me because I was very, very much impressed. Uganda gets a chance to play at the Sevens World Cup in San Francisco, I think 2018.
Yes.
And you're part of that team. Actually, it was, I think 2017. 2017, yeah, roughly around there. How did you get on that team? How was that whole process of getting onto that team?
That year, that year 2018, 2017, we were playing 15s, and that team was so awesome. Robert Seguia and John Duncan.
Yeah.
We were so good and were playing very well, and the combinations were working. Michael, Philip, me, James Odong. It was gelling. So
it was gelling, yeah.
I think the coach picked interest because all that cluster would, if you get it and just put it together, it would work.
Yeah.
So we went there and he said, you come and give it a try. That's his words, come and give it a try.
Who was the coach? Who coached you that time? Was it still Tolbert?
Tolbert, yes, Tolbert.
It was Tolbert, okay.
Yes. Say, come give it a try. So I went there. They did exercises. They beat hard, but they always give me the credit for effort because the intensity of sevens training is not the same like 15.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Tell me.
So we ran, and the first week was a bit hard, but I picked up. So the guy like, no, it's fine. You can make. I went for we went for Africa sevens. I think he beat Madagascar for I think 5th place.
Yeah.
Yes, Madagascar 5th place, and the team are building up
For Sevens World Cup.
yes. So we went. We played well. The coach was impressed. He's like, no,
Come on the team.
Join my guys. Yeah. So that's what happened.
Now, obviously, jumping onto the plane, coming to America, what was the camaraderie like? What was the team chemistry like going into San Francisco, going to the US? How did you even travel?
We went to Nairobi.
You went to Nairobi, yeah?
No, went to Istanbul.
Istanbul, yeah.
And from there I went to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yes, it was 21 hours.
21 hours layover.
Yes.
How was the were the allowances good for Sevens World Cup, or it was vibes as always?
Yeah, it was still that crazy stuff because every player had some I think tickets about $300.
Mm.
It was good to the players, but of course it was still again some games were played there. There's some funny things, but the good thing is maybe they're improving now.
Mm.
Yeah, but then it wasn't very nice to go for World Cup and yeah.
Okay, so, but obviously, what was it like playing at the World Cup for Uganda? First time, obviously, for the men playing at the World Cup. What was it like, you as a person, after an injury of that nature? What was it like for you to be on the team that is playing for Uganda for the first time at the World Cup?
Yeah, it is. The mere fact that you compete people who have never gotten surgery, and you get the number. It is something that is it's a good it's a tick for you, like, yeah. Because playing I thought I was done, as I'm going to play again. I come back, play on the 15th team. I come back, I go into 7th World Cup. It's something that is yeah, I thought my chest and I say, yeah, well done.
What was your most memorable moment from that tournament?
It was a memorable. It was, memorable to my side, or just the
Even just what you recall from the tournament? What stood out for
I
you?
thought Kenya was going to make the final, but they were destroyed in the quarters.
And they just failed.
They were so toned. They were so like in shape.
Yeah.
But
Those guys there showed them what's up.
They don't want to know.
They don't want to know. But now for memorable from Ugandan perspective.
Yeah, we partied. It was good. Partied.
You partied. How was the party in San Francisco?
I was with Magom.
You were with Magom?
Yes, I met some friends of mine. Our friends who went there.
Yeah.
Who are in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So we met them and we were from the same place. Magom is from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met a guy who's also from Mbale.
Yes.
And
you just jammed the whole night.
Propan was my roommate, so
yeah,
it was a good one.
To Bagisu, Bagisu in San Francisco.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, but obviously, hearing that story of recovering from those 2 injuries, to say the least, or 2 surgeries, and then going to play at the World Cup at that particular moment, obviously playing with players like Byron, who had also come through Gulu, and then managed to get there. Philip, who was obviously in his peak time. Young players like, I think Kisiga had also played at that World Cup. What at that particular moment, what was it like in terms of embracing the atmosphere of the moment?
The atmosphere was, going. It was a baseball field.
Yeah.
You're on the pitch. The field goes directly into the sea. You get you're up there in the stands, but you can see water down.
Water down, yes.
So it was it was a good experience. Changing environment, different cultures, you know. It was a good experience.
Okay, now back to Uganda. Obviously, talking about Ivan Magom, you said from Bale, very good friend of yours. I think very much mindful of what he has been raising over aspects of player welfare. How important is player welfare? Obviously, mindful of the circumstances you went through, and how important is that campaign now to the grand scheme of things in rugby, and how the sport is growing over time?
You know, I support Magomu. Maybe the way he did it would not have been right, but the message he's trying to portray it has been long overdue.
Okay.
Because I couldn't believe that the union would let me just abandon me there. I was dealing with the national team.
Yes.
You know, if I was not playing those days, they'd be like, this guy's not playing. No, what? You know, it would be a raise of alarm.
Yeah.
But I get injured and you start making up stories and stuff. I believe even the allowances people put, you know, going in the national team is not something easy. People need to consider the same thing to referees, because I've got a chance to tell them. But a person who plays rugby, don't just think it's a person who just sits there and just goes there, comes and plays. A person who plays rugby will sacrifice work. A person who plays rugby will sacrifice food. A person who plays rugby will sacrifice you know, other opportunities. Maybe I can give an example. Like someone, there are guys, you know, reach a time and we laugh. He says no. Someone comes and tells you have a meeting that is going to help you get money. But you say no, I can't have a meeting on this day, because you in your mind you know it is what?
Training day.
It's a training day. You tell me no, I can't have a meeting. What are you going to do? Going to go to do training. But you're telling someone I have a very serious meeting. I can't what?
Miss.
I can't miss. Come, you're going for training, and you're leaving
money on the table.
Money on the table.
Yes.
Because you love rugby.
Yeah.
I don't know what rugby is. Rugby is like, I don't know, maybe there's
it's addictive.
Kimono,
It's addictive.
Yes.
It's a demon.
Yeah.
They always wonder why we are like this.
Yeah, but I believe the welfare should be the priority of what? Of the union towards players. They should put a standard in the clubs. I don't know, maybe talk about maybe a minimum allowance or something.
Yes.
We need to do something that, you know, puts us up there.
Yeah.
Because if you don't put value into the game, that's why we have a problem of sponsors coming in. There's no value.
There's no value. They don't get value.
Exactly. You don't get value. Even you. Even you as a player, someone just tells you you're going to get training allowance 3,000. Because that was the money that we started with when we were in campus.
In campus, yes.
Every training session 3,000 shillings. Match day 5,000. So in a week it is what?
Like rough, short of 10, short of even 15,000. So you're gambling around there.
So that's how bad it was. If you could do a standard, we move from the amateur level to maybe first like super amateur.
Yeah.
The super
our amateur has a lot of malaria in it.
Then there is semi-pro. We need to do a step to move forward. Like me, if God helps my son is to play rugby, I don't want my son to play rugby at the level that we're playing at right now.
Yeah.
My son in 10 years is going to come and want to play rugby.
At the top level.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can't want him to play with such funny allowances. You play, they make you wait. I can tell you a story. This time I was I think, in a place Scrum off in sevens.
Yeah.
We played Safari Sevens. We went that day because I'm also bad off. My dad gives me money. Would give me money when I'm traveling.
Yes.
I was at campus. We went by bus. We came back without even 50 shillings.
No allowance.
So the guys I went
yes.
with, I've not got money that I had. I gave them.
You gave them money.
I gave them money for like, man, you go and do something.
Go and do something. Nairobi, obviously, yes.
No, not Nairobi. When we came back.
When you came back.
When we came back.
They had no
Guys
money
like
for transport.
nasty.
Yes.
it was bad.
Mm.
It was very, very, very bad. When I sit down, I remember those things. I'm like, how stupid were we?
Mm.
Oh, how okay? You say how naive?
Yeah.
'Cause we are
Obviously,
young
naivety
guys.
was still young.
You want to play. You want to go. After you go Nairobi, you go play in Nyayo. That's stadium.
Yeah, Nyayo Stadium.
Yeah, you be like, man, they're going to play. Guys are going to come from Western Province. Guys are coming from England. What you like, man? You have to. That desire to play is what these officials drive on
Yeah,
to drain you.
to drain you, yes. Mm.
You get. So you cannot go and then participate. You go participate. You know this was going to happen. We trained for 5 days
Mm.
to go for that tournament.
Go for that tournament. Yeah.
So I think welfare is very wanting in Uganda rugby. It's very, very wanting. Kudos to Chadondo.
Mm.
Of course, they have
player contracts,
player
somewhat.
contracts.
Yeah,
Even Cobs has player contracts, but they have that minimum thing they give the player.
a minimum.
There's that minimum. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, for them they are privileged. Maybe they have a field they can collect money from.
yes.
But I don't know.
For the rest of the clubs, how they are suffering and how
Yes,
the
yeah.
women also need some sort of assistance. It's not sustainable.
I don't know if this, but we need those sponsors to come in. But the sponsors cannot come in if they're not giving them money.
Yeah, they need value.
They need value for their money.
I think that's the glaring problem.
Value for money, value the players as well.
When you value players, your growth will also be significant.
Yeah, I do believe that value this, to all go up.
To all go up.
That's what I believe. But to do it, it is you yourself as a union to do what? To initiate that.
Mm.
Say, guys, you cannot, a team cannot play without minimum insurance.
Minimum insurance.
We need this kind of money for these
Yes.
people. A player every week should be getting this amount
Yeah,
at least.
dictate the terms.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Failure to do that, there are consequences.
Consequences.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because by now you see clubs are still they are crying. They haven't been given the money from this
Sponsor, yes.
I'm not saying now. I'm
Yeah.
saying, but those stories have been there. I'm not
Have
saying
been
now.
there, yes.
Either been there here about
Yeah.
those things. The league started 3 months ago.
Mm.
The league is ending.
Yeah.
Guys have not received any money.
Mm.
Why?
Why? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, welfare, without a doubt, when clubs put in time to have players contracted and the like, there has to be, I think, and also what Magomo says, the trickle down. He feels the money does not trickle down to the primary resource of the game, that is the players. And you're a farmer, the primary resource is the soil. You have to
Yes.
take care of the soil so that your things can grow, without a doubt.
All these things go down, like I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Value players. If
Value
you
players.
feel money is coming, if you feel, I feel Adrian is supposed to get 10,000.
Yes.
And I mean, no, I do not want to get 10,000. It's
Yes.
worth 3,000.
Yeah.
You're devaluing your player. You're devaluing the man.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm.
So if that thing keeps on happening, I don't know how true that is. If it happens, then it's bad.
Yeah.
Eh? If you keep on money keeps on coming and keep on chopping it,
Mm.
I know this is the trend in Uganda, but
Yeah.
do something right for once.
For once.
Yeah.
Talking about doing something right for once, I want us to jump into the national team. Obviously, you talked about being a captain with Asuman Mugera. Obviously, you had your leadership, things pushing leaders in the team and whatever. Maybe just one thing, I do recall an incident, and maybe if you're at liberty to talk about it, you do let us know. There was a particular game where we were going to play Zimbabwe, and there was a meeting where they said you and Asuman attended with the union officials. What was that about? Was there a player strike in respect to allowances? What particularly happened around that time? Are you at liberty to talk about that?
There was nothing. That was hearsay.
That was hearsay.
That was hearsay. What happened was we talked to the coach.
Yes.
The coach, he was asking us, guys, we have put in a lot of effort into this. You feel bad for the coaches because they put in a lot, and the players put in a lot.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if you do not play, all that time you put in goes to waste. Because that's the only way they can hear you is by refusing maybe to play,
Yeah.
or by maybe, doing something, sit down strike or something like that. That's the only way they can hear you.
Yeah.
Because if you keep on playing, the tournament is done.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. So by the way.
Yeah. So the coach came and told us, please let us play, and you see if you can get something out. We cannot have trained all this period, 3 months, and you reach this time and refuse. You can't. So that's why the coach was trying to tell us. It was not like we went and discussed with the union officials, no. But we know we talked to them and made our demands that players need money.
Yeah.
People need money. Someone leaves his home, telling his wife, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Or tell his girlfriend, I'm going to work. Or tell his mother, I'm going to work. He come back, he starts smiling.
No money.
No money. You get it. It is very disheartening.
Now back to the national team. The Rugby Africa Cup last year. Obviously Uganda finishing 5th, losing our first game to Zimbabwe. Obviously we are preparing for this one. We had a bad campaign in the Elgon Cup, losing by 2 points in Nairobi, and then we were blown away here at KPA, and obviously with the upcoming tournament. What are your thoughts on what needs to be done in terms of preparation? Obviously learning from what happened last year, as well as going into this particular campaign.
I think the training is on.
Yeah.
And there's very good energy in the camp. It's good energy. We just pray it keeps these things of allowance and what don't trick in. But the energy is good. So far everything is fine.
Yeah.
Allowances are coming in and everything is fine. Union is this time they're doing
Things right.
They're doing things right.
Yeah.
Just maintain with that. Shall be good. Actually, those games, I watched that game at KPA when
Against Kenya.
yes, I was coming from up country. I was driving. Network was not very good. I looked at the scoreboard. I'm like, these guys just have to maintain a small gap. And I looked at the video was a bit blurry.
Yes.
So I didn't see well. I said, this is just maybe just ahead by maybe
Like 2 or 5, eh? Yeah.
I thought I like 3.
Yes.
It was 18.
You check and you see 18.
I'm like, what is going on? It was. I just turned it off because I felt very bad. Yeah, you can't have put up such a show and come this side and lose. I don't know what happened to the players because the team didn't change much.
The team didn't change, yeah,
Yes.
without a doubt. Yes.
Didn't change much, but I don't know. It was some. I don't know what was there. But there's something was there as in camp. I don't know what exactly happened, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So hopefully we hope for the best as we go into this tournament, and
definitely.
hope the guys can. Obviously, we're playing Kenya, and obviously with your experience against Kenya, you know how Kenya can be quite the handful when it comes to rugby. So we very much so need to deliver some sort of glory in front of our home fans.
Very true.
Yeah. Now, obviously, with wins, as you have said throughout your career, there are some significant losses you have suffered. I want to highlight some. What was it like facing the heathens of old, where the Philip Okorach, Cox Muhigwa would come and punish you at Legends?
Philip Okorach has I not yet began playing. I was still in Buffaloes.
You're still in Buffaloes.
He hadn't yet began playing. He
Yes.
came in later.
Yeah.
But that team of Gama,
Yeah.
Scott,
Yeah.
Musaka,
Uh,
Opa,
uh,
Marco Okorach, Bishop, Benon.
uh.
There is that yellow jersey.
Yes. The one of MTN Heathens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, as a young man, it really disturbed me.
It disturbed you.
Yeah. So, like recently, there's a young boy who had a shirt. It's not Heathens,
Yes.
but has the same color, exact same color pattern. I told him take it off. Because it brings really bad memories.
Yes.
We're young boys. They're building the team.
Yeah.
Would come, they would beat us. Would lose. We would lose 33-10. They began calling that thing 33-10 like the phone.
The phone.
That is not the phone. They were really Let us say that because the guys were supposed to have mentored us to come into from you know us playing where I think our category is quite hard because we our generation is quite hard because we transitioned. We just like a kid who has been abandoned and then begin cooking for yourself, feeding yourself. Because you remember that period when we came into rugby.
Yes.
There's that sit-down strike of Adrian Bukenya.
Yeah, the Cobb senior players.
So those guys had gone away.
They had gone away, yes.
So we came in. So they are not there.
Yeah.
So we had to man up.
Learn on the job. Yeah.
Exactly.
And heathens would always just beat.
Smash small boys. So, yes.
So how would you cope with those losses? Because I know obviously building a side from scratch, but then you're dealing with such losses at an early age.
We used to do those losses. We kept on building. We'd get back up, down. We were kids being beaten. Then reached the time they would win, would lose. Win, would lose. Then reached the time we were winning all the time, like sevens.
Yeah. You would beat them all the time in sevens.
We began playing sevens. We got so well. We were so good. We like just Faredo, Chiwalabi, James Jogat, Ramadan, Govule, Oscar. We built up our team from scratch. From the team that was beaten, trained every time. Yeah. That would reach the quarters, semis, and get off. Yeah. We were the team no one should ever meet. We won those things about
sevens.
What was it? 3 times in a row?
3 times in a row.
Yes.
Obviously, then when it comes to losses, we cannot ignore that Women's Day performance. You guys were eaten by Pirates. Were you on the field that day?
I was on the field that day.
What happened? They score. You tries like making biscuits, and then second half you tried to come back, but the damage had been done. You lost the title as a result of that. Yes.
Teams that are a score cannot be predicted.
Yeah.
You cannot say it is Heathens playing, not to discredit Elgon Wolves, but of course
there's a gap.
Yes, there's a gap. You can say it's a sure win. A game which is 50-50.
Is Heathens.
Pirates, Heathens,
yeah. Yeah.
Now other teams are now coming up, like Hippos, now see.
Rhinos as well.
Rhinos, Mongas also, It is a good thing for the club, but a loss is a loss. You just take it. It wasn't your day.
It was not your day.
But there are some losses where you feel it was very narrow, and you could have won. Yeah. But there are some losses it was bad.
It was bad.
You just take it like that, regroup, go again.
And obviously with losses comes tough opponents you have faced. Who are those opponents you would say every time you would go for a game you would just be like, I need to prepare for this guy?
International, local?
Both.
International. The person I'm in the local. The person I'm on till you're going to be shocked.
Tell me.
It was Marvin Odong.
Marvin Odong, why?
Marvin Odong, whenever we play Pirates, his work is just in Kimono. I just break the line. He's there.
He's there always disturbing you.
Yeah, always.
Where did he tackle you?
Always. There's time we played a game and I was next to Chano. I think I saw Chano was a bit slow, so I stopped and I started again.
Yes.
I would leave him.
Yeah.
He was in the pitch. But Marvin was on the outside.
Yes.
Of Chano. Marvin came behind me. He's like Justin. No, not today.
Not today. Put
Tap
you down.
Me. Yeah. Tell him, Marvin, what's your problem?
Let you pass.
Yeah. So in the local league was quite a problem. Quite a problem, yeah. But the other person, the person who has always been a problem, has always been Philip. Because now me give an example. Like if I'm playing with Michael. Michael Korachi.
Yes.
I'll tell Michael, you beat me, I want to come for you. He's like, yes, you come. Then you come, we clash. Yeah. But Philip, you go to him, I want to come. He's like, no, you come. Now you load, you go to
eat him, then he just
side steps. He does, for me, he side step, we won't go into it. So
yes.
That's what makes him hard.
Hard, yeah.
You not play to your
To your game, to your
Yes.
game, yeah.
You play for him. He knows me. I'm not a guy of what, of Kanyama. Me, I'll move.
Yes.
Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Philip is very unpredictable when it comes to that.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah.
You can never read him. He's always.
Exactly.
He will always dodge you here and there.
Even when it is him defending and he's waiting for you,
Yes.
you do something and someone else will tackle you, not tackle you.
You know, so even in defense, you could.
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't
now,
do
but
that.
now
Yes.
has backed up. He's playing international. I think.
Yeah.
His mate was a bit gone up.
And internationally,
Victor Sudi.
the Kenyan. Why?
Victor Sudi, I think maybe because as a young man by that time,
Mm.
Victor Sudi, I'd never played a game. Victor Sudi, he was the main man.
Mm.
He was 11. I'm 14.
Yes.
So he's facing me.
Yes.
So everyone wants to give. You have to give a muscle man to.
Yes, to go through.
And as a small.
And you're the smallest guy at that time. Yeah.
He hit me this whole side.
Yeah.
The next day, I couldn't turn. This whole, from here.
But also, me, there was a game of Warriors where you hit me and you sent me WhatsApp, I'll crack your head. I was like, you hit me, then the game, obviously the physio comes on. I tell the guy, I can't feel my right hand. The whole part, the shoulder like this, there was Kara going through. So you also got your fair share. It's also good that you got your fair share. But now, talking internationally, you talk about Philip being an international guy and whatever. In your career or as you are growing through these rugby ranks, did you get any international offers? People looking out for you, wanting to call you here and there to play outside Uganda?
Yeah, I think in Tunisia.
You did. Okay, Tunisia, huh?
Yes, Tunisia. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Tunisia. Okay, before in Tunisia.
Yes.
We had also Strathmore.
Strathmore, the university in
Yes,
Kenya.
when I was in VAC.
Yeah.
They wanted me, but I don't know. I tried to talk to the union because it is changing players.
Yeah.
So I talked to them, and they told me, no, you have to sign, you have to get an agent. These are things I didn't even know.
You didn't know, yeah.
So
we're all young.
I just let it go.
Yeah.
Then I went to Tunisia in 2012. We played, I think lost to Zimbabwe. Was it Zimbabwe? We beat Kenya and then played Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Played Zimbabwe, we lost, I think it was a very narrow score. It was, I think, 23, 21.
Mm.
And we had the opportunity to score the ball and someone refused to channel the ball because one
Yeah.
is glory.
Yeah.
A French guy came to me and a French scout came to me and told me, where do you play from?
Yeah.
Like, I play from Uganda. Like, you play from Uganda, now the way you play is different than these guys play.
Yeah.
Like, no, I play from Uganda.
Mm.
So he shared my contract. I gave his contract to someone who I knew would help me. But I talked to them. I told me first clear my tuition. They sent me some money on Western Union and
They even paid you tuition.
they paid some.
Yeah.
They paid some. Then after that, they went quiet.
Yeah.
So the union person I told helped me. I won't mention his name.
Yeah.
He told helped me. He said, bali bakulimba bali bagana kutunda
Child slavery, yes. Slave exploitation.
So he told
yes.
me that thing. I got scared. I just left.
You got scared and
Just ended like that. Just ended like that.
so if it had gone through, you'd have been able to
Yeah,
hopefully
would
play
have- yeah, would
Tunisia
have-
or France or something like that.
It was a scout from France.
From France, he had come to watch in Tunisia.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because there was that tournament there, so
Okay.
come to scout.
Come to scout.
Yeah.
But obviously, maybe your experience has helped now make things better. Now we're seeing some guys internationally, so it's easy transitioning to that. But as we close, just obviously you mentioned you're a family man. Would you let your kids play rugby?
With the standards of rugby now, player welfare, no.
With player welfare, if it doesn't change, no?
Doesn't change. Doesn't. Maybe if maybe it changes for the better, yes. But now,
So how do you prioritize your family as well as rugby and work? What advice would you give to people who are doing that?
sometimes, sometimes we try to work so hard, and we say we're working for the people we love and fail to have time for them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you realize you don't have time for them. We have more time for
For
work.
work. Yeah. For work.
And
Yeah.
rugby, and forget about the people
Mm.
who you're working for.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's a thin balance. That is why if I'm up country or somewhere and it's something to do with school for my children, a birthday or anything, come what may, I always make it. I have to be there. Yeah.
All right. Maybe lastly, where do you see Ugandan rugby in the next 5 years, 10 years, 5 to 10 years?
If we keep the trend that is in the national team right now, Uganda is going to improve. Uganda is going to get somewhere in those 5 years. If you just keep it up like how it was. The mistake we made, we dropped from that thing. I won't say thing, team, or system that the late Robert and John Duncan had put up. If we had maintained that thing, we would be somewhere. In the 15th. Because that team that played 2017, 2018, that team was very good.
Yeah.
That team was very good. I'd never, in the past decade, I've not seen a team play like that. A team like that.
Yeah.
I've not.
Okay.
That team was full package. Full package as you hear it.
But now, as you said, with the training that's ongoing and whatever, you're very much confident. If they continue the trend,
yes,
they'll very
because
much.
that thing, to build up that team to reach that level, it was 3 years.
Yeah.
2015.
Yes.
16, 17, 18. After that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want you to hear something here from another listener. The Fat Cats audio moments are powered by Black. Just listen to this.
Rugby career and its impact over Justin Kimono. Well, I think in the interview he'll cover greatly his bio, where he's from, what he played. So I'll just point out that his career was, you could say, it was at the turning point of. It was at the border of the open competition of schools rugby versus the age grade categories of that categorization of under 19, under 20, under 17, and under 15. So he's among the last people, one of the last people you could say that got elevated to the main team while in Form 3 as the open category was being phased out, because he joined the team in 07 as a Form 3. You could say Form 2 in the 7th, but in the 15th it was 207 to join the main team. The open categories, or the under 16, should have started in 09. Yeah, so he's one of the few people, those last people, that age. You could call it the age of heroes, the guys who put their hands up when they are in without the age grade categories, when the only way to represent your team was the school was the open category. So to me, three memories I can mention that stand out, having been his classmate from 2005 to 2010, and in my adulthood I'm a fan of Cobbs. So 3 memories that stand out. Number 1, when we're in Form 1, you know, that first game where you're playing Form 2s, and he had an injury and he didn't play. So we were getting hammered, so to say. To be polite about it, we were really getting hammered. I think must have been on pitch that day. Me, I wasn't. Fortunately, I wasn't. But the guys were hammering us. If you know, the Impis coach or former coach Emma Katuntu was leading them. So I think at some point the score was out of hand, and we the fans just turned to.
Obviously, hearing that from Isometrics, what do you have to say about that?
Really.
Yes. Bring back your high school career. Obviously, he's going to dive into club later.
Holla to that man.
Holla to that man. He has the records. Yes.
Yes, he had my start in school. I know he still has them. He had my start in school and Cobbs, but my starts my mom used to keep them for me. Yeah. Yes. So I would go to hand rehearse every season, every end of season. international window.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had. So yeah, but it's good, if I don't know how it could be supported, because that is something that is
Data, keeping
that is
data,
that
statistics.
is
Yeah.
very, 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 very important in terms of seeing performance of a player,
Yeah.
the ups and downs. It is a very good thing. If there's a way it can be helped and get those things in a better manner, could be very good.
Let me just add what he says here as well.
Like, oh, that's actually good. The leader must be a dictator. He must have that anger, that urge, that drive to dictate matters on pitch in training. So that's stood out. The fourth and final memory as an addition. Yeah, when we lost the 2010 final, I think it took us. It was quite a sad moment because we.
Talking about you being a leader or dictator, how important was that? Obviously, as he says, being important for where you are right now, even as club, at Cobs. How important as your brute force leadership been important to Cobs players, the junior ones?
But these young, for us when we played, those guys will just abuse you. You can't do lovey-dovey talking anything good. Lovey-dovey stuff, talking, being nice and stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff was never there.
Was never there.
Now, if you do that to a guy here, he will leave the team.
You leave the team.
You can't. You just have to say, my guy, now you do like this.
Hold the ball.
Yes. Hold the ball. Don't
Practice
do like
harder.
this. It's like, no, but the other person.
Like, no.
Man, listen.
Focus on you. Yeah.
So you have the touch is a bit different. It's not as iron as it was then. Yes.
Okay. Obviously, now after this soundbite powered by Black, if you had to choose Pirates or Heathens, who would you choose?
You have to play.
Even to play, or just you're not involved, who would you wish well?
Wish well.
Yes. You don't wish them well. Okay.
If I wish them well,
They put you in one room. Pirates or Heathens. Choose your poison.
I'll take Heathens.
You take Heathens. Why do all Cops guys take Heathens? Is it about mutual respect or something? Or the rivalry is very strong?
No, Heathens. Heathens is Heathens have the most tries I've scored against Heathens were 2 in one game.
2, only 2.
Yes.
Okay.
No, like you're playing this game and you score.
Yeah.
Like you score.
Yes.
2 tries.
Yeah, 2 tries.
I think Heathens against Heathens. I have 14.
14.
Yes, against Heathens.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a time I Pirates. I played Pirates. Sometimes I played Pirates, and it was not me to discredit them, but I hailed them for coming from down to where they are right now.
Yeah.
That time they were not someone to compete with.
Okay.
So that's why I would talk about it then, because it has been
consistent. Yeah.
Yes. And they've been tormenting me since my childhood.
From your childhood.
Yes.
What do we have?
So from childhood, you get up, you man up with them. Now you take them on.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like you say, maybe mutual respect. But the time I played, I've played Buffaloes. I've scored them 4 tries. I played Pirates. I've scored them 5 tries. So you can just do the math.
I see what you mean. Obviously, and talking about statistics, Isometrics talks about statistics. Do you know how many tries you've scored for Cobs and the games you've played, as well as national team?
National team, I know I have 48 tries, 48 games.
48 games, yes.
I think about 32 tries.
32 tries?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
32 tries.
Yes.
We played those many games, Madagascar.
You just drop tries left, right, and center. Yes.
Score,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the side of the national team.
What about Cobs?
Cobs have the games about 200 what? 237.
Games.
Actually now it should be 238. I think.
238 games.
Because for
Yeah.
yesterday's game.
Yesterday's game, yes.
Yes. Then the tries. Tries are maybe one. I don't know, maybe.
You're making 100 already. You've scored 100 tries.
But I've just told you.
Yes.
Told you tries I've scored.
Yeah.
Pirates, then
Yes.
how do you call which game?
There's a game against Bulira Bulls. You scored like nine tries.
They came to Kampala and scored 6.
6. Hey, okay.
So
100 and what? Where do you think they picked?
170. I'm not sure.
170 something. Wow.
Yeah, yes, maybe Issa has to do something there. It's 170 something.
Well, I think I can sign off with what Issa Matrix drops here for us. He says Cobs league titles, you have 3. Uganda Cups 4, National Sevens 5, Bamburi, season runners up in 2012, top scorer in 2011. Talks about you are a vice captain in 6 tests. You are an Africa Cup, Elgon Cup champion in 2012, Rugby Africa Cup 1B in 2015. He also talks about you being on the 7 squad, Coca-Cola Sevens, Coca-Cola Rugby Schools MVP, Fiesta MVP in 2010, top scorer 2011, Newspower Rugby Player 2011, top scorer 2013-2014, most tries scored in a league campaign 22, joint record with Alan Musoke and Pius Ogena, Cup Centurion. You played your 100th game against EPC in 2018. You formed the Rugby Barbarians Cup in 2009. You reformed Chaplains Cup, and you're one of the many people who started the attempt to capture statistics in rugby. So how would you want to be remembered?
Where?
In rugby. Those who come and watch, who will watch rugby 10 years from now, and they hear the name Justin Kimono, how would you want them to be remembered?
See, like in Amiriang,
Yes.
that psych of
Au. Yes.
it was initiated
By you.
Awaya.
Yes.
Yes, you could say me because I was the captain that time.
Yeah.
The Barbarians Cup.
Yes.
Then the mast of this Barbarian Cup still played up to now.
Yes.
The mast of, because how do you call it? Chaplains Cup.
The change from
yes.
7s to 15s. Yes.
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 So it was all aimed at building. But I'm sure all those guys who never saw me in school, they don't know where
it came from. Yes. Yes.
So I also want that to remain the same thing.
Your
outside.
legacy, yes.
Yes. Like the things I've talked about, those few changes.
Yeah.
Magomi talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I told, I can't let my child play rugby.
Rugby when your welfare is not prioritized.
So I would
yes.
want to work something good for our children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Kimono, thank you for watching this, and we'll cook very many more to come. Thank you very much, Justin. Thank you for your time.
Cheers.